Hello everyone, so today I am going to be talking about OET writing, and whether you're a nurse or a doctor or another medical professional, this is a really crucial part of the exam in order to get a grade B. So I've been seeing a lot of doctors and nurses results recently who've taken the examination and they have been reporting scores of B, 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 C, and the C is in the writing, and I think a lot of them have become unstuck on the writing side of the examination. Perhaps they've not received feedback from a native English teacher or someone who's able to help them with the letter writing side of the examination. Perhaps they were having issues with their grammar or their vocabulary or not completing the task, etc. And I wanted to really talk about today about the fundamentals of letter writing and the important things that you should really be thinking about when it comes to your preparations, and of course when you do your OET writing exam on the actual exam day. So a few things you need to think about in advance. 180 to 200 words is within the word limit of what you should be writing. Okay, you've got 45 minutes for this examination, so you should be spending 5 minutes on reading and 40 minutes on your writing. You should have some planning time at the beginning of that 40 minutes as well to make sure you really know what you're going to say, to structure the answer correctly, and also to really fit the requirements of what the question is asking you to do. So you've got those case notes at the beginning, and how you use those case notes is really, really important, and that will really help you to complete the task set. So one of the marking criteria is task fulfillment, okay? In IELTS they call it task achievement, very, very similar. Are you completing the task set? Is what you're writing relevant to what the task is giving you, okay? Because some people, they will prepare to write a letter in the exact same way every single time, and you're not always writing, for example, usually it's a referral letter, okay, or you could get a discharge letter, but usually a referral letter, you shouldn't just write the exact same way for every kind of specialist that you're referring a patient onto. Okay, so you shouldn't write a letter to a psychologist and give the symptoms of some kind of condition or some kind of accident the person has, which is related more to maybe a cardiologist or another kind of specialist. So you really need to focus on who it is you're referring onto. Usually it's one person that you're writing to. So for example, if you are writing to a psychologist, you wouldn't be talking in great detail about physical injuries that the patient has got from maybe an accident, car accident, could be some kind of industrial accident at work. Okay, you need to be focusing on kind of the inner conditions they've got. Maybe they've got depression or anxiety or some kind of trauma that they've experienced, some kind of mental trauma. So really, relevance is really, really key. The other thing is not just completing the task, which is really, really important, but also the grammar that you have, because it's an English examination at the end of the day. It's not a medical examination. It's just an English exam within a healthcare context. So you really have to have your fundamentals, not only of letter writing, but also fundamentals of English as well. So your really good command of grammar, correct and wide-ranging grammar. You need to have correct and appropriate language for what the task is asking you, and that really fits in with completing the task set as well. And also your paragraphing and what the structure of a letter is supposed to be. So right at the beginning, for example, we write the details of the person that you're writing to, their address, for example, a correct greeting, dear Dr. Taylor, for example, dear Dr. George Taylor. You really need to use, for example, RE, okay, in reference to. We use that at the start of a letter. How you really structure it, okay, with your first paragraph, including the really important information about what letter is in reference to, and then going down with a finishing greeting, yours sincerely, yours faithfully. Okay, so all of these are really, really, they are fundamentals of letter writing. Okay, whether it's in the OET exam or not, to have those fundamentals of letter writing is something that you know, we've practiced at school. Okay, you might practice on a day-to-day basis as a nurse or a doctor at your, you know, at your hospital. So you should be familiar with this. Particularly, we've got a lot of doctors and nurses who follow Swoosh English who are based in Saudi Arabia. They might be from the Philippines, or they might be from Egypt, for example. So you should be really you should be doing this kind of thing every day in your job as a doctor, specialist, or nurse in those kinds of countries where, you know, where you're practicing English on a day-to-day basis. So you should have the experience. However, you might have some bad habits that you're practicing again and again and again. Okay, so these bad habits, they need to be corrected. We've had Basir saying, so that's great, thank you, you're welcome, Basir. But this is really, really important to have those fundamentals of letter writing. So this is something you need to practice, and you need to get a feedback from an OET native English teacher, okay, if you can get that. That's really important, especially if you want to pass this examination first time. It is a difficult exam. So this, I just wanted to talk about today. So completing the task set, okay, not using the same structure, the same, you know, same vocabulary for every single letter that you have, because based on the case notes that you're given, based on the task set, you need to word it with the way that the examiner is actually, you know, the person who set the question is asking you to, you know, how to write it. So think about the task, think about how to complete that task with what is required of you. Grammar, vocabulary, appropriateness of language, all of these are really, really important. So if you do want more materials about OET, make sure you go to swooshenglish.com. We've got lots of free course video materials in there to provide you with, and I look forward to helping you get that grade B in all 4 areas of the OET examination.